Hey, hello everybody. We're here today. It's a kind of ladies' night. I'm here with Mandy. Hello, Mandy.
Hello. Hi, Karen.
Amy.
Hello, Karen.
Sorry, was that Mandy or Amy? Haha, only joking.
That was Amy, right?
Yeah. And Monique.
Hi, lovely Karen.
Oh, it's two English
Right.
against two American. Oh.
Yeah. No, it's lovely. It's lovely to be together again. It's wonderful.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it
Such a long
is.
time.
Yeah, it's been a little while. It's probably been about a couple of years now.
Wow. No, I don't think it's that long, but it's been a while. Well, this is.
I think about a year.
Actually, yes, the first time for Mandy.
Yes. I've heard her voice before. I think Amy's let me listen to maybe a video or something that Monique was on. So I've heard her voice. Very nice voice. I always say I think she sounds like Princess Diana. Yeah.
Well, was that for me, you mean?
Yes, Monique, it wasn't me.
Oh, that's so sweet. I think that's very sweet.
I can hear that too.
You're so regal, aren't you, Monique? Anyway, she's under Yorkshire. What's the rest of your title, Monique? Yorkshire?
Oh gosh, well no, I'm not from Yorkshire actually.
No, what's your thing? I know you're not, but your sign is under Yorkshire.
Oh yeah, we're North Yorkshire. That's where I am now.
No, Monique, the picture on Facebook. It says Yorkshire Rose. That's it, isn't it?
Vintage Rose.
Oh, Yorkshire Vintage Rose. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry. I got mixed up there.
Amy and Mandy, she does live quite a long way from me, probably about 6 hours away from me or something, don't you?
Oh, okay.
Monique.
Well, that's quite a way, isn't it, really?
Maybe 5 hours, 6 hours away. Monique lives up north.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I live down south, she lives up north.
Yeah.
I'm dying to come down south sometime, though.
It'd be lovely to meet you, Monique.
Yes, it'd be lovely to see you. I've known you such a long time.
It'd be such a shock. We probably wouldn't, if we met each other, all of us, we probably wouldn't know what to say to each other because we have to do it all on a phone and we face to face we go, I don't know.
That's right.
Well, we're going to talk in a minute to Monique about things. She's got something to say in a minute. It's probably going to be a bit of a moaner groaner on some things, but that's the way it is. But Mandy, update on your rats.
Well, knock on wood, as I always say, as I'm superstitious, they have seemed to stabilize.
Just to tell everybody, Mandy went away on holiday. She likes rats. She's got rats. And then over the next few weeks when she got home, they were all dying.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was very, I had a large colony. They had accidentally, I had some, bought some, I think it was a colony of 7, and I thought they were all males, but it was two males and 5 females, and the males impregnated the females, and they had the, so I had a lot of rats, but I had to separate them into, when they were old enough, when the rats were weaned off their mothers, I separated the fathers and the sons into one cage and the females and the daughters all into one cage. And then I had bought a few more rats at Petco the day before I went away because I saw them and they were so cute. I thought, well, it's either a choice of them going to be fed to a snake or to live with my rats. So I thought I wanted to have them. So I bought them, and they really took to they were males, and they really took to the rats. And everything seemed to be okay, but we were going away the next day, and my niece's husband was supposed to make sure, I had made sure they had enough food in their cage that he wouldn't need to open the cage and feed them, and then their water bottles, all he was supposed to do was replenish their water bottles, and I thought he was sure that the temperature in the house didn't get too hot, because rats can't have it too hot. It can make them sick. So, but when we came, he claimed everything was fine while we were away. He would say, I fed the rats, everything was fine. Well, when I came home, though, our house was as hot as could be, and I saw it was 84 degrees in the house, and then, you know, I had a dead rat in the cage. The rats all looked very tired and listless and just did not look like themselves. So, you know, I got that. I had to run my AC all day long to keep get the temperature down to a normal temperature. And so what had happened was apparently our breaker in blown, and it blew the air conditioner, and he must not have noticed, or he pretended he didn't notice how hot it was in the house. And he never fixed the breaker. And then there was this big puddle of water on the floor in front of the cage where my male rats lived. And it was that a water bottle had leaked, and he had let it just leak all onto my floor, all underneath their cage, and probably into the cage.
Hey, Mandy, what's the other thing he did with the cats?
Well, he claimed he couldn't find the dry food. He had told me to put it on top of my recycle bin in our kitchen, so I did. And then, so I just, you know, assumed that he knew where it was. Well, then when we came home, we found bowls, no dry food for him. We just found bowls filled with mouse food for the cats. And
Mouse food?
Yes, the mouse food in there, and it's very clearly mouse food because it says on the package what it's for. It has a big picture of a mouse on it, and he said that he couldn't. He said, I looked for 20 minutes for that cat food and I couldn't find it, so I just gave him the
And
mouse
Mandy,
food.
what did the cats do?
Well, it took, one of our cats had found the dry food somehow, took it off of the recycle bin and ripped it open. It was a paper bag, and so he was able to rip it open with it, and that's how they were able to get their dry food.
So, as a house sitter, total disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I would never, ever have him house.
Oh, but that's funny about that, but very sad about your rats. So sorry.
Yes.
Is it stopped now? It's stopped, yeah? It's stopped.
They seem to be back to themselves. They've got their energy back, their appetite back. So I think they were very traumatized by what happened. And then when all the rats I think that the puddle of water that he let must have maybe bred some kind of a bacteria, and it may have made them get a respiratory thing, and it spread throughout and just killed a lot of
How many rats did you lose? I mean, what it was is, Mandy bought these rats, thought they were all males, and some of them weren't, and they had babies, and she kept them all. So how many did you have?
I had like 17 male rats, and I'm not even sure how many females I have. It was less than the males, so I'm going to say, because it was probably about maybe 12 females, and then I had bought 3 little male rats. And
well, how many have you got left now?
So, well, I have 2 left of the 17 original males.
That's terrible.
It is. That was 15 that I lost, and then I have the 3 little males that I had bought, and they're in a separate cage, and I have them. And then I lost, I think it was 3 of the females. So that would be, so then I've got probably about 9 or 10 of the females. So yeah, he definitely reduced my population. And what's scary is Amy said that he had, because I had said I was worried about leaving the rats. I had told this man that, and he said to Amy and Erica, my niece, he said, she should just get rid of the rats then. And Amy was looking at Ty. And then here something happens. He caused me to get rid of them in a terrible way. So I can't help but wonder if he did something. I thought maybe did he spray something, like spray some kind of air freshener, because they can't really breathe that kind of stuff in.
I don't think he did it. I don't know, there's a part of me that says he didn't do anything. I mean, how can you put mice food down for cats?
I know, right? I know. Like he could have called, if his story was true that he looked for 20 minutes.
He should have come round and said, "I'm really sorry," and given you a bunch of flowers. He just for the fact that it might not have been his fault, but you'd think he'd feel a little bit bad. But he's just worried about himself, isn't he?
Exactly. I don't said anything like, "I'm really sorry about the rats" or anything. He just said, "You don't think it was?" He said to Erica, You don't think it was anything I did, do you?" And that's
it was probably everything he didn't do.
Right. Exactly. Right. He should have let me know if there was a water bottle leak, and he should have told me, and I would have told him to take the bottle away. And like saying that he couldn't find the cat food, then he should have told Amy and me and Erica that he couldn't find it, and I would have told him where it was, and I only put it where he told me to put it. And his story and says, "I told her to put it on the dining room chair."
He's not young, is he, either? He's older than all of us, so it's all a bit strange, really.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, I'm really glad that things have calmed down, because that's, Amy, you had a nice holiday with the cat, and then you come home to all that. It wasn't very nice. But Amy sent me some presents, didn't you, Amy?
Oh, yes. That's sweet.
They're in here, I'm looking at them. Let's see if I can play it, what Amy sent me. It goes, let me just see if it works. You press this little toy and it goes, see if it does it. Can you hear it?
Yeah, that's...
There you go.
Oh, yes.
It'll stop in a minute. It's the sightseer. The sightseer train.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you'll hear it on the hangout. It'll stop in a minute. It's still going.
Oh, well. Watch. That's how it always does for real when the boardwalk.
Oh, I hope it hasn't got stuck. Oh, let's stop now. Anyway, we can talk about all sorts of things, but I suppose Monique, she really wanted to say what she's got to say. So Monique's is a bit sadder, I suppose. So Monique.
It is. Hi. Yeah, it is quite sad actually. It's a very long story. I don't know how much I could fit in, but basically, the past 5 years have been really hard with my mum. She's had 2 different cancers. We've got through that. And then after getting through the cancers, she started to come down with dementia, and it became quite bad that I couldn't look after her anymore. They actually put her in hospital and they had to section mum. And it took quite some time for them to get the medication balance right. They did to a certain degree, but then it was the fact that she couldn't go home. She had to go in a home, literally. So it's been an ongoing fight of trying to get mum into a home nearby, because they keep saying that's taking mum on at all. So the latest thing now is mum had to go into hospital after being in the home again, because they couldn't get the medication into mum. She was becoming suspicious about where she was, and it wasn't the right place for mum anyway. So she just wanted to try and get out all the time. She wanted to leave, and I kept saying, she really needs to be near home. So she went into a hospital, which is about an hour away from here. They got the medication perfect. She started to become more like my mum again. They really worked well. They were brilliant. The only bit that was really hard was that they were saying, right, it's time she's got to leave. And I said, well, it's got to be the right place. So I've been looking around, and basically the information they put out to all the care homes was quite extreme and not an up-to-date version of what mum is like now. And I've been fighting for my mum to get in the right place, because they are just pushing her into places where they just have these tiny rooms. Everyone in the room are kind of further on from her, so she can't communicate with anyone. I mean, they can't look after themselves properly at all, and she's been thrown into this when she still has a mind, where she still can live her life, where she still needs her family, and I can't believe where they're locking her up. They've put her in a place now that I'm fighting to get her out, and the social workers have been, they've not been very good, because they actually didn't tell me they were going to put her in this place. Then when I found out, it was like on the day that they were going to put her in, and I said it wasn't the right place. I hadn't even seen it. You know, they don't respect. They're trying to push my mum. They went behind me. They just did everything without my consent, without anything. Just didn't tell me. And now she's in a place where all that work that they did on mum is now, she's going backwards, basically. She is going backwards. She can't communicate with anyone.
You said she didn't want to come out of her room the other day.
Oh, no, she wouldn't come out of her. Well, they're all Asian, and she can't understand them. And it's just run by all these Asian people, and it's a different culture, and it's not near home. And she needs to be near home where she can see people that she knows and the friends and family that she knows. Yeah. And they're trying to keep her there. I mean, I couldn't believe it. They're trying to bring her down to the level of everyone else that's in there. Like, I would go there and they actually put like one of these nappies on her, and I'm saying, what are you doing? Because she is not ready for that. Yeah. She sits in the corner all day long and has nothing to do. I can't take her out without someone wheeling her out. I can't do anything. She doesn't get to a dentist, to a doctor's, nothing. She can live a decent life at this point. She's not that far gone, and she's around people that aren't able to communicate at all. And it's just disgusting. It must be hell that she's going through. And it's disturbing, but nobody's helping. Nobody's trying to help me. And
but you had a meeting the other day, didn't you, Monique?
Yeah. Oh, they overworked. Yeah, with 6 of them, and they just didn't hear me. They were just, right, we just got to get her out. We're going to put her here. And I was going, it's not the right place. I was telling them exactly what I felt. They weren't listening. They will not. And they went and put mum there without my consent. I didn't want her there. And I'm having a battle to get her out. I mean, to be honest, there's been a lot of lies from their side. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith in my social worker. I've asked for another one. Not that I have much faith in them now because of what they've done. Yeah. And you can't leave. It's cruel. To leave mum in that place is just utterly cruel. Oh.
Awful.
Can I just say one thing without sounding horrible, Monique? Because you have told me, but your mum, because of the, what is she got, Alzheimer's or dementia? She was a little bit aggressive, and because she was a couple of years ago, that's what they're looking at, rather than the fact that because of the hospital, because she was happier there, she's actually changed, and they've stuck her in this place miles away from you.
Yeah. Well, they said, it's because they're preparing her for the future, that it could happen again, that she could regress. And I'm thinking, but my mum can literally have a conversation. She remembers so many things. She can knit. She can do things. She wants to go out for tea, and she wants to see the world. Because I took her from the hospital. I could take her out, and I took her out into York. And she said, "Oh my God, there is a world out here." She knows, she's not completely out of it, but they're treating her in this home like she is, So she has improved. She's improved so much. I mean, the hospital did do a wonderful job, but it's the fact that they've pushed this for her to go, and she's now in a more extreme environment, and she has nowhere to go. It's just either her bedroom or this one room where it's mostly 95% men.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so it's horrible. It's 90% men. It's run by Asians, and she can't understand them, and she has no one that can talk to her that's familiar. You know, I mean, for instance, I went to a home here to check one out, and they're talking about familiar things in there that she would relate to. You know, and I keep telling people, and it's like I'm just hitting my head against a brick wall. The only thing is that there are a few issues that I had from hospital. The some care in there wasn't very good, but literally where they got her medication sorted, that was amazing. And she's eating again, but now she stopped eating. She stays in her room. She won't get changed for bed. She goes to bed in her clothes. She won't go and get washed and showered and things like that. She wants to come out, and she actually kept calling me when I left her last time, and I would have felt so hurt. It's taken me days to I'm not over it, but it's just horrible when I leave her. Nobody will come over and attend to her or kind of soothe her. It's absolutely horrific.
I don't know quite what happens, but I have a little story. I think I told Monique that it was a lady that I used to work for years ago, probably about 2016, and she ended up in hospital, and I went and visited her a few times. And there was this one time where I can't remember why, but I'm moving her, and then I saw the back of her head. It was like she had laid there for months. The back of her hair. They had not brushed her hair once.
Oh my goodness.
They had not brushed her hair once. And because she didn't move in the bed, it was like a fixed mark on her head.
Yeah.
With the hair. I couldn't believe it. And she kept saying, they're making me eat and my stomach hurts. All she kept saying was, when I eat, it's not right. Poor lady, she died. I couldn't believe it, not once. They obviously hadn't washed her.
Oh no!
Hadn't brushed her hair.
Yeah.
She was in there for weeks, maybe like 2 or 3 months.
That's terrible.
So I can only imagine what it's like then in the care homes, and that's what it's like in a hospital.
Yeah. Well, the hospital didn't cut my mum's toenails, and well, I thought I had arranged it, and I said, well, you know who comes in, and could you get someone to do mum's toenails? I'll pay for it, blah, 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 blah. And I left it thinking, right, great, they'll sort it out. And then weeks later, I was because I was creaming my mum's legs because they were really dry, and I was brushing her hair and doing all sorts of things. And I did something with the slippers and looked at the toenails, and they were extremely long. You wouldn't believe it. They just left them. Wow. So I started to file my mum's nails with whatever I could find that they could find there, which weren't very good because she's got very strong nails, but they were so long. You wouldn't, if you did that to an animal, you'd be accused of neglect. Right. And they didn't even tell me. And then they said, oh, well, it's for you to organise. And I said, but I thought I had organised it because I don't know the area, because she's out of the area, and you get people coming in. I just said whoever could come in could do my mum's nails. Seems obvious. If people are coming in anyway to do everyone else's nails, why couldn't they do my mum's? Right. So they just didn't tell me about it. That's the weirdest thing. They just left it. I don't get it. I just don't understand how the neglect on some things like that.
They just seem to just want the money.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one of my mother-in-laws, her husband got put into he hurt himself just as that last lockdown, anyway, he ended up having to go into one of those homes for months. And she couldn't get it out of her head. This is why she doesn't want to put him in a care home, because he's supposed to have a bit of dementia. But she said he put them all to bed at 6 o'clock at night.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
wow. That's so early.
That's awful.
But she said no one was in the garden except someone having a cigarette, but there wasn't like the elderly people weren't sitting out in the garden when it was nice. He lost a lot of weight. They broke his hearing aid, which was awful because he was deaf, and that hearing aid was everything, and they broke it. And then he couldn't do much about it because of lockdown until he got out of all that.
Yeah.
And there's just the whole thing, and you just think, oh, it just sounds horrible.
It does.
I had a friend during the lockdown, and her brother was in one of those homes, and because he had had a stroke, but she couldn't go in and visit him. She would have to just wave out the window or wave at the window, and he wanted to come home so badly. But here, what happens here is if your insurance, whatever amount that covers, say it's 3 months, they will make you stay the entire time. And so she couldn't get him out basically, and then he passed away, and she was hysterical. She called me at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and she was screaming, and she said, "Oh my God, he's gone!" And she just felt awful because all that time he kept begging her to get him out, but she couldn't get him out. And like with that lockdown, she couldn't even go in to visit him, just had to wave at the window and stuff. So it's really horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you really want to put any of your parents, or you don't want anybody to go into a care home if possible.
Right.
No.
I wish my mum did need to. I really do wish my mum
So you
didn't need to
basically,
go in.
they didn't listen to you in that meeting. So what are you going to do now then, Monique?
Well, I'm trying to get mum into a home nearby, but we've got certain rules and that I don't understand, and I'm just kind of learning as I go along, because you don't know all the rules and regulations, what they're doing and everything.
Right.
But I've sent a couple of emails, and I'm saying, she has to be moved, but they're making excuses, and it's like once she's there for 6 weeks, that means that she'll be fully there, and I want her out of there before the 6 weeks are up, because they have all these rules I don't know, but they know what they're doing, and I just feel like they're not being honest with me. And now they've got her in there, it's not easy to get her out as easy as you think, because obviously they have their policies, they have this to fill in, that to do, I don't know, but I'm just saying it's an emergency now.
They
My
probably
mum
just
has
see you
to
as a bit of an
be-
annoyance. Oh, here's the person that's moaning again. But
Yeah. Well, it's the assessment they made. They've not updated it. They've not put anything in there that is the positive thing. They've just put all the negatives way from before mum went into hospital, and it's not been updated. So if they throw that out to everyone, everyone's going to say, oh my God, well, yeah, well, this one's a difficult one to take on. But a lot of it now, I would say, about 3/4 of it now, what they've sent out, doesn't apply to mum anymore, because she's changed, and also she's become more fragile. So there's certain things she's not capable of doing. And when she's losing the ability to walk, because she's sitting all day.
Yeah.
So since she's been there, she's just sat all day, and she's not getting exercise. So now I've got to push her around in a wheelchair, whereas before she was actually walking around.
Yeah, they don't do things for the people once they get into the care homes. It seems like they try to let them decline. I've seen some things about that.
when you hear the word care home, you think that they're going to look after them just a little bit, but they don't.
No.
Thing is, I know that all of us have problems, don't we? We all do. I know what mine are. I've told you, Amy's family, but Monique has also struggled, and we haven't talked so much because Monique gets just so upset with the stress of all this. It's just not working out the way she wants for her mum.
Right.
Yeah, I'm finding it mentally and physically it's affecting me. It's coming back onto me as well, because I am worried about my mum.
And you've got to work and look after your kids, and you've got a stroppy ex.
We won't go into too much detail.
No, but he's around a bit because of your Glade Trust. I don't know if Mandy knows, but Monique's got this thing called the Glade Trust, and they've got birds and they've got trees. Go on, Monique, you explain quickly.
That's nice.
Well, we have a Victorian greenhouse, so we have an area where we grow vegetables. We have a pond and little river going through, and then we also have a flower meadow with honeybees on there, and then we have a section of woodland. So there are 3 places to this, and we tend to have little events for the public, but it's actually a charity now. So we just had an event the other day with some children coming to do some pond dipping, and we also do bird ringing. So we get the birds and we show the children the birds, and they let them go, and they learn quite a lot. It's very educational.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Nice.
Yes, that sounds cool.
But if I didn't have this, I wouldn't know what I would have done, because it's been quite a relief to go there when I've been really stressed and actually sit in nature. I don't know what I would have done without that, because I have been really bad with the situation with my mum. I've been so depressed. I've been really depressed. So, but it has given me kind of a sense of purpose in between all the trauma.
Yes.
Well, it's not even just that, is it? Also, Monique suffered a bereavement with her dad and didn't really have any time to get over that before deal with her mum. And so that's really bugged her. 'Cause, you know, grief is a strange thing. It's like your life is grey.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Can I just say, Monique, yours is the Glade Trust Local Nature Reserve, and it's got a picture of like a dove or something on it.
A dove. Oh, that, yes.
I'm just because you know I'm trying to change the pictures on the computer, and I went to the Glade Trust by just making sure it was the right one.
It's a green. It's a green and brown.
Yeah, that's
kind
it.
of
We've
thing.
got it. Yes, we've got it.
My son designed that. It kind of looks like 2 things. It kind of looks like a bird or a tree, if you notice. But my son designed that. Look at it. It could be either one, a bird or a tree. I don't know.
I see
the
what you
lady,
mean, yes.
The 90-year-old who used to be part of the Glade Trust, she chose that. So we thought, well, she liked it very much, so we kept that.
Oh, that's nice. Really nice.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear. So sorry to hear about this, Monique.
Me too.
Yeah.
I know it's
thank you. We all have our problems, don't
It's a
we?
bit of a burden at the moment, isn't it, Monique? I'm just showing them your Glade Trust. I'm on your website, Monique. Have you got music on it?
Have I got what?
Music on it.
Music? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just something in Ellie's room. I thought, oh, there's music on it. But anyway, I'm just showing them your webpage.
Oh, right. Oh, good.
And also, tell Mandy, you did,
Yeah.
over Easter, you made wreaths, didn't you, out of different things?
Yes, we went foraging and collected all sorts of different foliage. You know, we had some dogwood and ivy. It's amazing what you can do with ivy, actually. The long strips that go along the ground, if you pull them, you can weave little baskets with them and do wreaths. And, so, yeah, that was great fun to do. But then we had a lady come in and she did willow weaving, and that was really good. We had about 14 people come for that. But we're hoping to hold more events that way, and I want to do something more naturey sort of craft, and also a bit of well-being for ladies as well. Maybe have a lady circle where people can come, because it's really, really, oh gosh, everyone that comes always says, gosh, it's so relaxing here. And it does feel good. You know, they always feel so much better when they leave. It gives them time, you know, just to have some calm time, because you've got the birds singing. It's very meditative there. It's really got a loving air about it. Yeah. And everyone feels so much better after they've been. And I kind of like that. So I thought maybe to have a lady circle where we can do crafting and just do things in nature, basically.
That sounds great. Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful idea, yes.
Amy and Mandy are coming, Monique. Amy and Mandy are coming.
I know, I wish we could. Definitely. I would love something like that. Me too. Sounds very therapeutic.
Yes, definitely. Well, that's what I'm looking to do. You know, I'm doing a few, actually, to keep me sane, to keep myself sane amongst all the chaos. I've been doing some courses for meditation and just mindfulness, but to put that with the creative side, you know. So I've been doing that just so that I'm thinking about something else, because otherwise I'm just constantly worrying about what's happening with Mum.
Right.
It's always there. So I'm trying to do this just to give myself a bit of time, just to get my mind off it, really, because it's been really hard work. Yeah.
Well, that's good, Monique, that you're doing that. That's a very healthy way to deal with it, you know.
Right, yeah.
And as much as possible, you are trying to get the best thing for your mum.
Yes, definitely.
And it's quite stressful because you're not happy she's there, and you know she's not happy.
Well, when you read her rights on what she should have, they're not giving her what it says that she should be having, you know? It's like they just totally ignored everything. Yeah. So I am fighting for her. I'm not going to give up with it, because she needs a better life. I'm going to see her tomorrow. I'm going to be seeing her tomorrow. And it does take a lot out of me when I've been there, you know. Mentally.
What are we living in? You know, a few weeks ago, me and Mandy and Amy had a hangout about how crap the vets were, and all they wanted was your money.
Yeah.
The care homes are the same. They don't care about who's in there. They just want the money.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not living in a very nice place, are we, really?
No, we're not.
No.
Well, the same thing with care, isn't it? Everything is money. Everything, you know, everything's different standards depending on, and the price of care is just.
What amazes me is there's all these rules and regulations, even about food, and then you find out children's cereal's got like rat poisoning in it, and that the meals that they're producing, the what do you call them? You know, the ready-made meals and all that, they're quite bad for you. Sticking them in a microwave, and there's supposed to be all these laws and everything about good food, and all we're eating is crap. They've made sure we're eating the Teflon off the saucepans, which is causing loads of diseases and problems.
Yeah.
It's like, how could they have not, you know, who remembers the Teflon problem? Because I don't.
Yeah, I remember something about it.
You know what I mean, Amy? What they want, if they want to show you the news, they show it over and over and over for days on end. They didn't do the one about Teflon, did they?
Right.
How to damage the whole population, give them Teflon.
Right.
Spray things in the sky, harp them.
Oh, I
know.
It's quite disgusting, really, isn't it? That, you know, and then you've got this system here. It's just all broken. I think everybody needs to go.
Yeah.
I just think it's all broken. I also think that they know that we didn't vote for them in the UK. Not really. They said 30%, so they were probably swinging it there. Because I reckon it was probably less than that voted in that last election. We've had enough, and they know that. Yeah. So that's why I think the news has to get worse and worse and worse. Because in the end, someone will watch it. Oh my God, look what's happening.
Right. Yeah, it's awful.
I think the quality of our food is just terrible, isn't it? Really, when you think about it.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, it definitely is here. All the fast
Yeah,
food and
feed them stuff that makes them fat. But you see,
Right.
there is this guy in Russia. They said that they did it to the Russians, but they've had totalitarianism. We're all in it. If they've got it, we've got it. It's the same system. But they use this thing where to demoralise people, make them fat, break the families up, do all these things. It's a system of. That's what they do. They don't want you to be with your family. They don't want you being close to your family. They don't want all these things. They just want you to be living in hell.
Oh, I know. But
well, you know, when things are united, that just makes everything more strong, and they don't like that. If it's broken, it's a lot easier, isn't it? For them, definitely.
The only thing is, it's great we talk, and I don't think they can stop that. That's one of the good things about the internet. But we're in here on our own. There's no one to help us. You know, you've got lying NASA, lying governments, lying media, lying, you know, like, I did a video the other day, I probably sent it. Al Pacino looks quite like Alice Cooper, and you think, why?
Yeah. Right.
What the hell? Like, what are they doing to us if they're doing all these things? They're just models, obviously. Or maybe what it is Al Pacino is 110 and Alice Cooper is 1112.
Yeah.
right. Yep.
Just tiny bit different. I just don't understand. Like, you know, and I was really shocked when I was doing a video for James. What it is, you know, there's me on my video saying that YouTube could put the software in to stop us seeing all that crap. But the thing is, YouTube are promoting YouTube to be AI. So what are they saying? They don't want us watching anything real.
Yeah.
It's on one of James's videos, maybe not the one that's just gone out with the Italian job, the one before that. It was on the internet, it kept saying YouTube, AI, and you're thinking, I thought, it's no hope if, you know, YouTube want us watching AI all the time.
Oh, I know.
What the hell is that?
Right.
So this is why the news get away with it.
Exactly. Yes.
Nothing's going to be real anymore. So it's like when you phone anything, that's all AI. It's just like robots, isn't it? So there's no real person when you phone anywhere.
I think it's all right as long as you don't watch the black screen. You know, as long as you don't watch the television, you're okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes you do. And sometimes, you know, like lockdown, that was quite a big thing for the whole world, wasn't it?
Yes.
Exactly.
Not for my mum. She didn't realise, actually. She was still running around the countryside, and I was running after her. And it was the weirdest thing. It was like the apocalypse. There was nobody there. It was so strange. You know, there was no one on the motorway.
Tell you what, Monica, I've just thought about what you said, if your mum isn't that bad.
Yeah.
That basically, because she's not that bad, and because of what's happening, like staying in her room and all that, that must be so confusing.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Everybody thinks it's her, whatever it isn't. A lot of it's just the stupid circumstances now.
Yeah, definitely.
But you would like to think, though, wouldn't you, that at least some people cared, but nobody seems to care. Nobody.
No.
I know.
They're not doing anything. There's just excuses for everything.
Maybe that's why I said, you know, when we talk to each other, it's hello, lovely Karen. Hello, lovely Amy. Hello, lovely Monique. Hello, lovely Karen. Hello, lovely Mandy. We've just got to try and be nice to each other.
Oh, exactly.
There's nobody to help us. You know, I believed in the system once. I thought I wanted to be a counsellor, but I realised that the law is an arse, because when I look at them, the law's protecting them, and when they look at me, it's the other way round, and so you can never help anybody. And then I know that my ombudsman case was good, but they would have to change the law, and I didn't realise that an ombudsman is the same class as a judge. I got so many people involved. There was a lobbyist, the noise abatements. I had so many people, and then basically they flunked it. And then I had another case with the bank, which was fraud. All the banks are trading in fraud. They're trading in fraud. Anyway, they made me wait 5 years, and then they said they couldn't help me, and then they sent my information to the bank, the ombudsman, not me, which broke the law, and they basically went out of their way to make sure my case was not going to work. You know, I wasn't going to win, and I know what they did to me, and I thought, if you believed in a system, that thing is broken. And they're paying the ombudsman millions of pounds a year to do nothing because they made me wait 5 years and then they said they couldn't help me because of the time. So what the hell is that? They're being paid to do nothing.
Yeah. That's horrible.
That's what we're living in.
I know, it's horrible.
I think, obviously I feel very sorry for Monique. I know that Monique's been very depressed about it. It's almost too much to bear. But the worst thing I ever heard was when Amy told me about what the hospital said to her dad, to tell your dad when he was dying. That is just disgusting.
It was.
I mean, maybe in a way she was right if she knew he was dying. But instead of pulling you to the side, talking to you and explaining it all to you, what did she say, Amy, in front of your dad?
Tell him to go to Jesus. Tell him to go right in front of him like that.
That's horrific.
What are we living in if these places are like this?
It's awful.
Amy had a word for them after that, didn't you, Amy?
Oh yes, I called him. Can I say it when hear the N-word? Nazis. I called them Nazis.
They do that awful.
Because when you think about, there's natural ways that you can heal people and cure people that they've made it illegal, if you know what I mean. And I was just thinking,
and they wanted to dehydrate him, didn't he? But do you know something? I mean, this sounds horrible.
Yes.
And when it's your turn, you're going to know what's happening. But when someone's dying, they reckon it's best not to give them fluid. Only just like maybe sips or something. Because the body's dying and it's at the last bit, and then you're trying to give it food and water, and it's got to cope with that as well. But to tell someone it's nil by mouth because we're dehydrating them, I mean, that's just, I just don't like that either.
When my grandfather was dying, he wasn't in hospice. He was actually in the hospital, my one grandfather, and they were giving him ice cream up until the end. This was in 1999, and they would let him have ice cream because he could get that down, and it felt good in his throat because he had pneumonia and stuff, and he felt horrible. But they would give him ice cream. It was like much more humane to me. Like the thought of dying of dehydration just sounds awful.
But I have looked it up, and it does say that it's best not to, and that's why they go nil by mouth. But that seems to be the new death. It used to be morphine, now it's nil by mouth.
Yeah,
I think it just doesn't sound right to me.
I know.
Is it? I mean, and as people, we don't talk about those things enough either. I mean, it's not that you want to be talking about death all the time, and I know that I've just had a horrible time being to hell and back over Mickey, but we don't talk about that side of it enough.
Right.
I had the same experience with my dad as well, that they
Yes, I thought so. Yes.
Yours, Monique, because they did it to your dad.
Yes, they did. They said, and it was really weird because a couple of days before they said, I'll be going home soon. And then suddenly they just whipped everything away off, everything, his fluids, everything. He wasn't really taking anything in by his mouth anyway. He couldn't. And then they did a few other things that dehydrated him even more. And I was just totally shocked because I said, you can't just leave him like that,
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was horrific. Again, with my dad, I'm going through several things with the way they treated him with the care, but that was home care. And I experienced another difficulties with carers, and I'm not going to exactly go through it all now, but it was quite shocking.
You filmed
So
bits of it, didn't you, Monique?
I did, yes. I took, yes, I did. I'm going through, I'm fighting that at the moment as well with the Ombudsman as well, but whether that's going to be any
Well, good luck.
good,
I hope it works for you, but
Yes.
well, we'll see. Yeah, it's just one big fight all the time. You don't realise.
but the thing is, the
when you-
Ombudsman on my case, they know what they did, because what it was is I had a card, and then in the old days, say 15 years ago, there was a number on the card, you know, like a little sticker on it with a number, and you rang that up,
Yeah.
and then that activated your card. Whereas nowadays, you just have to use the card. And then what they did was, unbeknown to a lot of people, when they activated their card, they automatically stuck PPI on. And PPI didn't work for self-employed people. It was nothing, I was never going to get it because I was self-employed. And then what it was is, to me, we got put in the fiasco with the PPI, which it's not. What it is Lloyd's Bank put PPI onto my account. That is wrong charges. And it should have been dealt with differently. But we were put into the PPI fiasco. And so what it is there's thousands of people like me. And I know it because I was, you know, to me, I thought I was going to sort it out because I'm that kind of person. I just keep going till I can't do it. But she told me it was a bank error. And then, you know, I started to look things up. Like, the chief executive would have been told about that. And then what it is there's two different laws. There's like data protection, and there's another one about your credit history. So that when a bank has put wrong charges onto your account, your credit history isn't showing. You could have hundreds of pounds of fees now. So it's not showing the correct balance. Because, you know, everybody goes to that system and they check, they can see your credit rating and everything. So you've incurred fees for something that you never even asked for, even signed for. And what it was is, in the PPI fiasco, it worked for everybody except self-employed people. But what they did was, they gave everybody's money back. So say you used it and it worked for you, you also got your money back. But someone like me, I never signed for it. I never wanted it. It was put on my account. That's wrong. Charges put on my account. It's totally different law. And there's a law, the Miss whatever it is of 1966. It's a law that's still going. And I told the Ombudsman you can use that one because consequential loss. When the judge said, oh, the PPI, it's all in the Crown Court. To have consequential loss, you almost had to be on the streets. You have lost your house. It has caused you so many problems, this whole thing. So you couldn't use consequential loss, but you could use the Misinterpretation Act of 1966, something like that. And then what it was is, it wasn't even that. It's like, I had it in my bank account, and I turned my bank account into a loan. So they gave it back, but they didn't give me it back out of my loan. So basically, I'm still carrying, well, let's just say it this way, I'm still carrying that debt. But it was fraud. All the banks are trading in fraud like that.
That's awful.
Because they've broken the law with the data protection. You know, your credit rating one. And the chief executive would have been told. And then he was Antonio something or other. And he got a 5 million bonus when they decided, the Ombudsman, that they weren't giving us the extra money back. And he got a £5 million bonus. He had our money. I even took it to the fraud squad, but they weren't interested. But I know what they did. But I think what it is all the banks are doing it. This is what I'm saying. Obviously, we know about poor Ron. Amy and I have talked about that massively, about what they did to Ron. But then on the internet, I've been watching a few videos of like corrupt sheriffs, corrupt police, and you think, surely they need to see that there has to be an overhaul of all this, overhaul of the care homes and what's going on in them, an overhaul of the Ombudsman. These places are out of control. Doing what they want, obviously. It's just disgusting.
It is.
Anyway, I know what they did to me. I worked it all out. And then I realised I had no faith. That was another, that happened, I don't know, say it was over about 5, 6, 7 years ago or something. But I lost my faith in things then. And then came... So that came along. And then I realised that's why it's broken. Because in this system, everything's broken.
It is. Yes.
And I think we're lucky planes fly, to be honest.
Yeah, and what about the banks? They're disappearing nicely, aren't they? I mean, we've got there's a small kind of town that we have. There must have been about 5 banks in there. There's only 2 left, and they're going to stop their service tills.
Well, I go to the post office and do mine, and if there's a problem, I ring the bank up. But I don't even have to speak to the bank; it all goes in my account. I've got an app about that. I just go to the post office; they do it.
Yeah, but what I mean is, just don't have the traditional bank that you can go in. It's just
I liked going in my bank. I liked going in there and moaning about lights.
Yeah, well, you couldn't do that now so much. It's all going to be online, isn't it? Yeah. And what if online shuts down? What if we have a crisis with it?
It's almost like they want to turn this into a computer game. You've got AI YouTube. It's just they want us to be in a virtual reality, but most people don't realise we are the virtual reality. We're it. You don't need a computer game. We are the virtual reality.
Yes.
And they've tried to. You're looking at a screen all the time to be in a virtual reality, when they don't. Obviously, nobody wants to be in reality.
I know.
That's so true. That is very true.
Yes.
Are you there, Mandy? Mandy hasn't said anything for a little bit.
I've been listening. Yeah, it's very true. I have a friend that's she's a young woman. I met her on Instagram, and she's basically like living her life in, I guess you would say, a screen. She's always just looking at her phone, and she likes animation, and she also she was trying to get into some kind of like an AI friendship or something. Like, I guess she doesn't have a boyfriend. She's 34 years old, and she's very lonely, and apparently she had some kind of problems in her past.
She's probably not real either. We've done this with Amy on a few of them. They're not real. Hey, Karen, look at this. Right, I've seen the glitches. There's something wrong with the footage. Very quickly, Mandy, this one of Amy, right? She was a bit upset because this girl said that she got cancer, and so she's making she was making videos. And what it was is I slowed the footage down a little bit. And then what it was is you saw her boyfriend in the videos, like he was walking around in the background, but then it flipped, didn't it, Amy? 1 minute he's one side of the room, and then he's the other side of the room, which means that was put in. That's not real.
Right.
So Amy was like, "Oh my God, she's got cancer," and her whole story is she's not real. She just wants to make money.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, Amy's told me about that girl. I think she
And then another one we watched was even more worse than this one. There was this boy, he'd lost his legs, hadn't he, Amy, and one of his arms.
Yes.
And then what it was is, I suddenly started noticing in the videos that 1 minute it would be his right arm that was there, and the next minute it was his left arm that was there. And we had the same problem with the Watts case, didn't we, Amy? It was all that happened in the Watts case.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the girlfriend and I got the pictures together and I said, Amy, the girlfriend's a female version of him.
Yeah.
It's
and
crazy.
so they were doing that to make money. It obviously wasn't real.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, like, and there's more channels like that. They're all bogus. They're not just not real people. They're AIing, whatever it is.
Right.
Definitely. Well, I think I heard that actors said that now they want to like do AI of them, and then they won't. I don't know if they'll get paid or not, but that they won't actually be acting. They'll just.
But that's
take
what they do anyway, Mandy. That's what they've been doing. That in the
that's what
1930s, they
they
were doing
said.
that. In the 1930s, they've been doing it to us for years. So I know they're on strike
That
because they don't want it, but actually they're lying because they've been doing it. And if you look at the film, I almost can't watch the modern films because I think, oh my God, look at it! We can see it's fake.
right. I know what you mean.
I don't
Well,
like that. I
people
just
look
want to
at
watch
that
the
with-
film, and then as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, oh, that's all CG. Oh, look, I can see where they've put that bit in, and oh, look, he's a cartoon now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it'll be the same person. Like I was watching some movie and the actress I looked and sounded exactly like another woman that's supposed to have passed on in 2000. And I'm like, gosh, she looks exactly the same. It's like a reincarnation or her secret long lost daughter.
I'm sure. You know, a few years ago when they did, we went digital, something happened then. Something else happened then. But I just, every bit of footage I look at, I just see the black eyes, whatever it is. You know, I make the videos, I show it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe in 2000, you know how they had all that projected about Y2K, but yet it's like nothing ever came of it? But do you think maybe something really did and we just don't know it, or we weren't told about
I think everybody's life, those that are old enough, I don't want to say very much because you know what they'll do, but 9/11 changed a lot of people's minds about things.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yep.
Gosh.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. there's a lot of
But
crazy
anyway, we
things
can't even talk about it. But I just think that was the beginning of a kind of people were, I suppose you call it waking up a bit. Maybe they don't wake up as much as others, but there's certain things they know are not right.
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 Definitely.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing to us. But on my channel, it says I'm harmful to the people.
Oh.
Oh.
So thank you so much, ladies, for joining me.
You're not harmful at all.
Mandy's harmful to the people. Amy's harmful to the people. Monique's harmful because you're on my channel.
That's crazy.
We're a bunch of gentle women. It's silly, isn't it? It's just stupid.
Yes.
It's actually the other way round. It's what they're doing to us.
Well, we're very feminine ladies, aren't we? When you listen to us, we're proper, yeah.
Yeah, Monique, we're proper ladies, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traditionally.
We've actually been friends for quite a long time, really, haven't we? I know Mandy's a bit of a newy one, but generally, Amy and Monique, we've been friends for years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I started listening to you, didn't I? And you and Amy
Oh,
were...
thank you, Monique.
I used to stay up all night, actually, because sometimes it was quite late through the night, I remember.
Oh, listening to the hangouts.
Imagine listening to me talking. Do you know what? Sometimes, though, you know, because we've had people like Russian vids on and that, but more people come onto the channel to listen to me rabbit on.
Yeah.
When I look at the figures, I think, oh, more people have watched. They're watching me talk. Actually, more than some of these other people. I just thought that was crazy.
People love to hear what you have to say.
Yes.
I think sometimes you either like me or you don't. Sometimes I get a little bit, you know, like emotional. Maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea. I don't think, and you know, suddenly you think you realise that you've been talking to nobody for 20 minutes. I mean, you're talking to everybody. You're making this video, but really, you're not talking to anybody.
Oh, I know what you mean, but you actually are talking. But I know it's kind of hard to say all your thoughts. But then eventually people will hear it once you put it out.
As long as they don't delete the channel. But Anybody
Yeah.
listening to this, share and share the channel as much as you like.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been,
it's just we've all got issues, you know. Like me, it was being self-employed. I think for me, it was
Yeah.
actually when we came out of the Europe, it just changed. I lost half my jobs, and then we went into lockdown. Luckily, I got a grant because I was self-employed, and then I come out of that and I get employed. Then I fall over. Then I can't walk for a few months.
Yeah.
So I stayed at home, and at the you know, I remember saying to Mickey, "I've got to go back to work," and then Mickey died,
Oh,
and then I think I
yeah.
was probably back for about 3 weeks, and it was quite busy, and I was thinking, "God, my leg," and then suddenly the work, like, I don't know what happened. She just didn't give me many hours, and then I can't live on nothing, so I've had to change work. But it's been a nightmare. Lack of money, stress.
Yeah.
My mum, which I don't want to go into. I've told you, ladies, what my mum, all that whole thing. I'm devastated about her. Anyway, at 87, my mum's going to live on her own in the middle of nowhere. No carers, nobody helping her. I'm so shocked. It's really upset me, but I can't do anything. And she goes, "It's my life. I've got to do what I want to do." But she's just a very strange woman, my mum. She could live down here with us, but she's chosen to be on her own. Even though she spent the last 2 years since my dad's died moaning to me about being on her own. But I don't understand the woman. But I think it's all about, I've bought this house and then in the bank I'm going to have a nest egg. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But in a few months' time, when she realises it's, you know, she hasn't even got her dog back yet because my mum's had a knee operation. And I can't talk to her at the moment. Yesterday I said to her, I'll very quickly say this. It's horrible, this. This is my mother. So I said, so I rang her up and I tried to explain a few things. And she said, well, I'm doing something right now. So she said she'd call me back. So she called me back and she just sort of said, so what do you want to know? Like that. And I thought, oh my God. I said, Mum, you've really hurt me. And then she started going, oh, it's you. You've been like this since you were a child. All this, I actually wasn't very nice in my words, and I put the phone down because I thought, my life, as much as possible, is not like that. What the hell did her changing her mind about living with us have to do with my childhood? I cannot stand people who don't at least partly take responsibility for themselves or even know what they're saying. And then she lies to my children. I just can't handle it. It's just really upset me.
I know.
And she's not going to take that away because she has. You know, my mum's not going to be, and I'm not going to spend the time with my mum that I thought I was. And she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to be around her daughter, her grandchildren, and her great-grandchildren. She's she keeps talking about and lying. You know, like she blamed me for not wanting to live here, but really it's because she changed her mind. And she used me. I don't like being used. Anyway, so I mean, obviously it is her life, but she's 87, had a knee replacement, can't walk, hasn't even got the dog back yet, and she's moving in a month.
Oh my God.
She hasn't even finalised on a house, nothing. I said to her, you're surely going to get, I wasn't going to say this because I find this very sad and I can sound whatever, but I do really love her. I just find her so difficult. But, I said, you're renting a house, aren't you? Oh, well, the solicitor thinks that he can tie in the moving out and and I'm thinking, you've got 1 month to go. And then I've said to you, she's got outer buildings with masses of crap that my dad accumulated, and it's enough to feel like 2 houses. She's taking it all with her.
Oh my.
And it just goes on. She hasn't really done anything. Sorted out her clothes, sorted out my dad's clothes, got rid of anything, packed anything up, and I'm like, I just want to scream. Even though Monique has her issues with her mum, I am devastated for my mum, and it's like disaster, and she hasn't noticed yet, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't wish her any badness at all. I am very worried about her. I think the move will nearly kill her.
Yeah.
And then she's going to be on her own. And she's going to be, at the moment, she's nearly 4 hours away. I mean, 4 hours, say. And now she'll be 2 3/4 hours away.
Yeah.
You can't just get in a car and go for a coffee or pop up. it's a long
Right.
way.
Yeah.
Because it's not just going there. So there's there's 5.5 hours of driving before you've spent any time with her.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I don't even know what to do. So Monique has her bear to cross the bear rather, and it's horrible. But I have mine, and it's different. And my mum's just so difficult. Oh, it's my life. I want to live where I want to live, and all this. And it's like my son reckons she's gone back to being a teenager, and because she's quite nasty, I'm thinking, as long as she is not struggling a bit with dementia and stuff herself. My son thinks she's a teenager now. It's like she never had her own way, and now she's getting everything she wants. But I just don't believe my dad got his own way on everything. I just don't, knowing what she's like.
Really?
She's just so determined. And the thing is, now she's got to do it all on her own, because we live 4 hours away from her. We can't just... If she wants us to make a phone call for us, we can do that for her. But we can't really sort anything out because she's up there. You know, what is she going to do? Send us the... She hasn't got a fax machine. We can't do all that. And and then she's going, well, I do everything on my own anyway. Well, I'll be doing it. And it's like, I just don't want to hear it because she's chosen that. It's like, you'd rather be on your own than be around your family.
Yeah.
She wants the 6 acres out the front that she can't walk in. The whole thing has driven me mad, but it's not my choice. Yesterday I just don't like people who use you when actually they're lying and playing a different game. I just wanted to get close to the woman, and all she wants to do is, well, don't tell your grandson this, and then she talks about me to him. It's like that.
Yeah.
She's just playing us all off against each other. I don't like that. So that's what I'm saying. My dad couldn't have always got his own way. I just don't believe he did.
Yeah.
And she's just into a material wealth. That's it. Material. It's just a material thing. And I tried to say to her, not that it makes any difference, I suppose, but when my dad was dying, that last sort of 4 or 5 days, he signed over his material wealth. I mean, she would have got it anyway because she's his wife. But he signed over that material wealth to her. And considering he was a man that made his little empire, and he's got eagles and things all over the place, you know, he's buying all this stuff. And he gave it all to my mum before he died. And I was so proud of him. Because he obviously realised in dying, he can't take it with him. But if you imagine, he'd have fought nail and tooth for that. But my mum's still on the fight.
Yeah.
She's 87, 5'1", and can't walk. Because of her knee replacement.
Right.
To me, I just want to scream. I just don't know what to do.
I know.
See, we all have these burdens, don't we? I wasn't going to talk about my mum because I do really love her. I just don't know if I like her.
Right.
How can you like someone that's so bitter and so determined?
I know.
Right.
I don't think she'll be happy in her new house because she just isn't happy. And I'm sorry, I'm telling this to my hangout, but my mum drinks quite a bit.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh. You think that affects her judgments because of how much she drinks?
I don't know. She hasn't even cried over my dad yet.
Oh.
But she's not right because, you know, we were up at my dad's grave because he's buried here where I live. And she was supposed to be moving down here, remember? And we were up there with my kids and that. It was in March, I think that was, or the end of March when he died, like a year anniversary. So we rang up to say, we're at the grave. And all my mum wanted to do was have conversations with her. I said, Mum, we're standing at the grave. She didn't, she was not interested in my dad at all.
Aww.
But he wasn't particularly nice, but I can imagine that she must have driven him mad.
Oh, really? Yeah.
My dad was he's old-fashioned, you know, he was a bit of a dominator. You know, he was a bit like, it was almost like, stand to attention! Yes, Sergeant Major. You know, you can't live like that. And he wasn't particularly nice at times, but when he was dying, he was a different person.
Yeah. Oh,
The thing
I
is that
know.
he was probably not very nice to her a lot of their marriage, really, because he was the boss. And
Right.
but I think the last few years he was a bit different. But in her memory, she can only see how horrible he is. Not that the last few years were much better.
Oh.
I think my mum probably needs counselling and doesn't realise it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's quite a lot. It's a lot to lose someone and move house. That's a lot as well. And then she's got
And also, a part of
me
she done crying is because she has to stay strong. If she cries, she's going to crack open. So she doesn't cry, stiff up her lip, and keep going. Wow.
Yes.
You know, like she didn't help me at all through Mickey.
Oh.
And you know, if say she's like at the very beginning, I was speaking to her, but she was going, I just can't cry like you. You can just cry. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm absolutely devastated. Who wouldn't cry?
That's right. Oh.
I think in a way she's angry that my dad's gone because now she's got to deal with everything herself. But there's another part that just doesn't want him at all.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know what to make of it. I'm so worried about her. I just see disaster. I really hope it works out. But she's 87, can't walk. I think the she may as well have stayed in that house. Why sell it then?
Yeah.
I mean, at least there she had a cleaner and a gardener. Now where she's moving, there's going to be no one. Like, what are you trying to do to yourself?
Yeah.
I know.
She is so determined. And me and my son are disappointed and sad that she's not going to be living near us.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite scary. It's quite scary.
And she's moving. She says she's not very confident in a car anymore, and she's moving somewhere she doesn't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at least she knows. Even if she's got to drop, you know, she could probably only go locally for food, or there's another town a few miles away. But now she's going to be in a place she doesn't know at all.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, do you know what? I don't. It's so awful to me. This whole thing. I just don't know what to make of it. Just that my kids and that said you just got to let her get on with it.
Yeah.
But if that was your mum, how would you feel?
I know. Yeah, I would be very worried.
I'm surprised I'm not scared to, you know, go somewhere where she doesn't know anybody or.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that if I was in her shoes.
Because that's what she said to me. Well, I'm staying up here because I've got a cleaner and the gardener. And then I heard it was Bury St Edmunds, but it was a different house. It was too big. And I thought, well, they won't be driving down there because they will now live an hour, or maybe an hour to an hour and a half away the other way. So they're not going to come and see her that often. They might come and see her occasionally.
Right.
And now she's found another one there. She said it's in the middle of nowhere, and I think, oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
The woman can't walk, and she's picking that up. To me, it's just like it's madness.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people when they get older, I want to go and live near my daughter because I'm getting older.
Right.
I want to make sure I'm settled for the last bit. And my mum is this complete opposite. I just can't believe that she chooses. I mean, she might not even get the dog back.
Oh, no.
Because she can't walk. Obviously, the woman thinks it's best she keeps the dog until my mum can walk properly.
Right.
It's like, oh, she's moving in a month.
Oh, my God.
It's almost like the train is crashing and my mum can't see it. Anyway, maybe I'll keep you updated and let you know if my mum moves okay and it all works out. But I'm just so worried.
Oh, I know.
Well, that's crazy.
But all I have done for years now is worry about her, and then she just wants to do these things, and I just think, wow, what a great mum you are.
Yeah.
Who would want a mum like that, that's basically going to stab you in the back?
No. Does remind me of a teenager in a way.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's not that I maybe not talk to my son, but I love her. I'm concerned, but she's difficult.
Yes.
So there's
Yes.
like use all of it. She's just your mother's done this and all this crap, when actually it's her somehow in like a sleep or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And then I thought she was selling some of the furniture to the people that were buying the house, but I think she's taking all of it with her, and I'm like, oh my God.
No.
Wow.
She lives in a big house. Like, I reckon one of her rooms is as big as my whole house.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's like a big country house.
You know, like her dining room table can fit 12. It sits. That table sits in the middle of the room. But then she said she wanted to get rid of it all the things that my dad spent money on. But actually, my dad always bought the stuff because he liked it, but he always thought, well, it's worth money. And then since lockdown, obviously, those prices aren't there anymore. You know, you don't get the same amount for those things anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me. I feel really bad that she's dealing with it on her own as well.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to take with her a table that sits 12 people. She's not taking that with her, is she?
Yeah, she is. But what it is you can make it smaller, but underneath there are the eave things that come out and it makes it into this big table. And it's even got little king chairs to it, you know, like king chair, like a throne. There's 2 little thrones. It's old, but they've got 2 thrones to go at the ends of the table.
Oh dear me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you'll have to
But
keep me
listen,
informed
she
on how
has,
she
because my dad was the way he was, the sofas they bought, they're old. Because he was living in an old house with old furniture, so it was old sofas. So I said to my mum, not now, but before, I said, we are going to throw those away and get a nice sofa to sit on, aren't you? Because they're so uncomfortable. Nope, she's taking them with her. She's going to use them.
Oh.
It's so confusing about who she is and what she really wants.
Oh, I know.
And she said she wanted to. It would take 13 pages at an auction to get rid of this furniture that she wanted to gone, because my dad bought it all, and now she's taking it all with her.
Wow.
I just want to scream.
I bet.
You know, and then when she moves, I'm going to be back, at my school job. I won't be able to. I have to work.
Oh, right, because it's September.
Yeah, you can't have a job at school if you can't do it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is a lot.
Anyway, enough of that. I've talked masses about it now. But
nobody.
Sorry?
So no one. There's no one at all close by at all.
Well,
Yeah.
at the moment, she has the cleaner that comes in and helps her, and she has a gardener who, since my dad, because he really liked my dad, but since my dad died, he comes once a week and visits her. Sometimes he does gardening, but I've said, why is he gardening? Why is she cleaning? They need to be packing.
Right.
It's not the stuff maybe that, they come in and pick up and take out, but surely clothes and books and things, they're not gonna, oh, maybe they're gonna pack it all. It's gonna cost her a fortune.
Yeah.
Thing is, there are so many things, like, it's almost like, when those programs where they go around people's properties and they find all these bits which are interesting to them. They've got sheds with things in them. Oh, look at those! Oh, look at those big busts down there. Well, my dad's got stuff like that. He's got his great big busts in his office. There's a nice, say, chest of drawers, and then over there's a broken one. It's like that. So you've got nice stuff and all this brick and brack broken stuff. And then my dad in the shed had this amazing workshop, and it's like shelves and shelves of tins of things and old tools and new tools, and this was a proper like he had collected even all that. Some of it might have been belonged to his dad, That's all got to go.
Oh my goodness.
And I feel bad I'm not helping as well, but how do you help someone who's always saying, I don't need help?
I know.
And then she's so grotty. Because, I was helping her, and then She didn't say, look, I need to talk to you. I'm not coming. I've decided I'm staying here. She didn't even talk to us or talk to me and my grandson about it.
Right.
She just blamed me. It's all your mother's fault. I'm not coming. But actually, it's because she changed her mind. And then my son said to her, look, you only came to look at 2 houses. How can you make your mind up about the area just on 2 houses? You needed to come and, I thought she needed to come and stay for a few days. And it would be okay because she didn't have the dog. But she came down with a friend. They left at like 9 in the morning and they didn't get back till 9 at night. And the whole thing was a disaster.
Yeah.
They didn't even get to see one of the houses because of traffic. So she was going, I don't like it there. But Bury St Edmunds is going to be a lot busier. She just lies, my mum, as well. That's another thing I struggle with. That's why I was wondering whether maybe she's not quite right anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, Floss is snoring. Don't snore. But I do really love her. I'm just beside myself.
Of course, I would be too.
But you're not allowed to be, and I'm not allowed to tell her, which is just ridiculous.
I know.
I should be able to say, Mum, I told her I was really worried about her. Oh, your mother's done this now. It's just, I can't handle it. It's just this. She's got real issues. She needs to sort them out. But she's not going to, is she, at 87?
Right.
And it annoys me as well that she didn't really want to get close to any of us. You know, we always blamed my dad for everything, but it had to have been her as well.
Yeah.
When you look at it all, you realise it wasn't, you know, my son said they were bad as each other. But my mum will say, oh, your dad was always doing this and all this crap, so, yeah.
Oh, yes.
But maybe she's never been happy.
Yeah, right. That could be it.
Yeah.
It's a very unusual thing that she's just moving somewhere in the middle of nowhere. It's just really difficult.
She even said in the phone call, Monique, just like one line, she said, well, I might be making a mistake. And I think, oh, God, I don't want to hear it. I know that sounds horrible, but how, you know, she used to, a few months ago, she was crying to me about how lonely she was. And she, you know, I've had my knee done. I'm so lonely. And now she's chosen to be on her own. Like, so, what is wrong?
Yeah, it's really strange. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, you think that she would have someone coming in to care for her at least, especially if she can't walk
you know how I feel about things with my other family, which we won't go into. But she could have even moved up with him.
Yeah.
I know. Why would you choose? To me, she's going to die on her own and everything. I just hate the whole thing.
Oh, it was.
And also, she's so adamant, isn't it? Even when Mickey was alive, my children wanted to get her a fob to go around her throat because, you know, in case she falls over or something.
Oh, yeah.
But she was adamant she wasn't going to have it. And then with Mickey, she said, well, I've got my mobile phone over there. He said, yes, Sonia, but if you fall over there, you won't be able to get to the phone.
Right.
She's still, no, not having it. That's what she's like. It's like, wow, she's a little Welsh woman, but
She's stubborn.
So stubborn, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And my son reckons that she wants to turn around and say, I'm the martyr. I did it all on my own.
Maybe.
But imagine when those removal men go and all that stuff is dumped in there, how she's actually really going to feel.
Oh, I know.
When she realises there's nobody to help her, no one to put the furniture out.
Yeah.
To me, I could cry like Monique feels like crying over her mum, like probably Amy feels like crying over her dad and Mandy as well. I'm actually quite devastated about it all. I just don't know what to do. She's so adamant.
Yeah.
You know, if she lived up the road, it'd be easy to storm around there and say, well, you're not doing it. But it is her life. But gee.
Yeah.
Wow, what a nice mum.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe she does have a touch of kind of dementia or something, or Alzheimer's. I don't know what a touch of it.
I don't know, because my son says, no, she's just a teenager now. That's what he sees her as, for the way she's reacting. You're not going to stop me. I'm going to do it.
That's how it could be. that's how it can be, because it's just a rather random, weird sort of idea of what to do.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
It's a bit worrying, I think. Definitely.
And the reason I just got so upset yesterday was, you know, when you say to someone, "You've hurt me, Mum." I didn't say it horribly. And then she was going, "You've been like this since you were a child." And I was thinking, this only happened a few weeks ago. What has that got to do with my childhood?
I
You know, what mum wants to do that?
I know.
And then she'll say, "Oh, but you were the aggressive one." It's actually the other way round.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. It sounds really horrible. I actually really love my mum. I'm just so worried, and I just can't speak to her right now because she's just so horrible. She hasn't got nicer since my dad has gone. She's got, I don't know, she doesn't bounce and I'm Sonia. I don't know. She's just, but she's 87.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's the same age as my mum.
Yeah, I know. You did say that they're very alike. Well, when we talked about it before your mum went into like where she is now, you and me said how similar our mums were.
Yeah.
What it means is, I don't mean it horribly, because I know Monique really loves her mum and I really love mine, but they weren't very good at looking after us, were they, Monique?
No, Mum had her moments, but my mum was always wanting to travel. She was quite an independent woman, you know, and she did try. That's why being cooped up like this doesn't go down well, because she was always a free bird. She was out and about.
Yeah.
You know, she'd been off to Europe, to Germany, France, and then Scotland, and she was off, and she would never take me though. She'd say, "Why would I want to go with you? I want to go with my friends."
Oh, this is the same thing. Like, I just thought I was going to spend a few years with my mum, and I'm not now.
Yeah, but it's different now. It's different with her now. She dotes on me, and she just kind of wants to be with me all the time now. So it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I guess when mums, they're free and they're living their life, but then when things go wrong, they need you more than anything.
Maybe you should take the cat in.
Right.
What it is I really believe that even though Monique told me that she had this cat thing for her mum, I actually thought that when she said George is here, that actually was a real cat, but it wasn't, was it, Monique?
Oh, yes.
I'd be going, "Oh, look, George is there. Hi, George." But actually, it was a machine.
It's a dementia cat. It's, you know, it's such a response when you go into the room. It's got.
You go, "Meow."
It's cute.
I thought it was real.
Yeah, that's no, it wasn't real. But the thing about dementia cats is so that they don't feel lonely, because obviously they can't look after animals anymore. Mum always had cats, so.
Well, I suppose the reason you don't want to take it in there is you don't want it getting lost. But maybe it might help your mum a little bit, or take it in when you go in.
I think I might do that.
And you say, "Give me the cat back, Mum. Give me the cat back."
Well, that's the thing. Well, George is she's quite expensive actually. But the weird thing is, this place doesn't have anything for dementia stimulation. You know, where they need stuff. Normally they would have cats and things like that actually in homes, hospitals.
How does it work, Monique? Do you know what? I worked years ago for a lady that had, well, it might have been the other one, not dementia, the other one, but when I went in there, she'd go, "Hello, how are you? Thanks for coming in to clean," or whatever it is. So she remembered I was the cleaner. And she'd say, "I've got such a bad memory that I won't remember who you are tomorrow, and I'll say this tomorrow." But she remembered to say that. So how could she have what they said she had if she could remember to say that?
Yeah.
I don't know. That used to bug me. I think she used to remember to say things. Know that when, I won't remember you tomorrow, but remember to say those things, but don't remember you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it depends which. It's really weird dementia because it can affect you in all different ways, and how your brain functions is all very different. Because I'm quite surprised sometimes on what my mum kind of remembers, even if it's not the full thing. She remembers an amount of it, and I think because it's important to her that she'll remember certain things.
You mean like some of it might
Yeah.
be they've lost their short-term memory, but they have got a long-term memory sort of thing.
Yeah, that lady might have kept that in her head specifically. She's probably working hard to keep that particular thing in her head because it was important to her.
But it's crazy that she could remember to say that every day, but can't remember you every day.
Yes, yeah, well, my mum knows that she's forgetting, and it's instant things.
But you know, every now and again I think, what is it? What is it? Why can't I remember it? Oh God, what is it? Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, I know.
And I think, oh gosh, what's that?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Me too.
I can't remember what I did sometimes the day before. And if they go, what did you have for breakfast? I'm going, oh dear. I can't remember, you know. So, yeah. The problem is with mums, hers is the frontal part of the brain, which is more reasoning. It's more, she won't understand. You know, like a child, you'll tell a child, well, no, we can't do that now because actually it's getting late. Right. And she'll think, well, why? Why can't I do it now? Yeah. You know, it's okay to do it. So it's, for instance, she always wanted to be out. So I used to take her out a lot. And then she'd forget that we'd gone out shopping all the day. And then she'd want to go and have some lunch, like at the pub. And then I'd say, look, it's really late. I've got to get home. You know, I've got the boys, da-da-da-da. And it's like, well, why? And she could not understand why. Or when we had to finish, right? So it's kind of sort of that sort of thing that Mum wasn't very good at. So a lot of the history and memory of things she remembers a lot.
So now you're your mum's mum.
Right. Yeah. It's weird.
Was I really horrible about my mum? Because I do love her. I just find her so difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Would you be worried? Would you be worried, Mandy?
I'm sorry.
If you had a mum like mine, would you be worried? Would you know what to do?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would be worried. I mean, because moving is so hard to begin with, and then I would be really, worried about her being like off, in a place that was far away from me, and wanting to all that stuff.
I mean, she already lives a long way away from me, but it's still a long way. It's not, you can't just pop up there for coffee, it's
right.
Like it's these 6 hours driving there and back.
Yeah. And we're not used to that because mother, she lived like within a mile of her own mother. She didn't want to be far away from her mother. And then, Amy and Erica, her daughter, they lived by. So we're not used to, being far away from our immediate family.
Mm.
So that would be really, really difficult for us.
I don't want people to think that I do really love her. I'm an empath and she isn't.
Yes, I am. Yeah, too. And and your mom, you say she's not. So yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. Well, we've moaned about a few things there. Is there anything else you'd like to moan about?
Well, I was wondering who got her dog, Karen.
It's actually the person that gave it to her, and she's the one that took her to see the houses. But she said she'd look after while my mum had the knee thing. But the knee thing was in June, and she still hasn't got the dog back.
Oh, okay.
Well,
how is her knee? Is it?
Well, I didn't have chance. I know it's not that. I know she hasn't got the dog back.
Mhm.
I know she can't really walk.
Yeah.
Because my son would tell me that she was getting better, and he hasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another worry for you.
I'm really
Yeah.
worried, but I'm not allowed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really awful.
Yeah, it's
So,
tough.
she's just such a weird person.
Oh.
All for the
Yeah.
empire. That's what I was saying. I was proud of my dad that he realised, even if it was a few days before he died, but he wrote a will and said, I'm leaving everything to Sonia.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was so proud of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. Well, I hope for you, Mandy, that all is okay with the rats now.
Oh, yes, I hope so. Every day I'm scared to see their cage, but I have to keep looking because they like a lot of interaction from their owners.
Well, they're quite. I had a job in the past. I've had rats. I feed them. They've got their little biscuits there, and when no one's looking, I go, "Here you go, rats." They're quite sweet rats, but they eat everything.
They will. They'll eat anything.
Or even shred everything. So if you've got a curtain near the cage, they'll shred it. What they can get to, they'll shred.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, mine, I left some paper towels on top of one of the cages, and I see that they're pulling the paper towels.
Bedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I really hope that it's all settled down now.
Yes, I do too.
Amy, we haven't heard much from you, really.
Oh, yes.
Have you got any news? We could do well, I showed you the Trump ones. The wall or the wheel. There's only two things that work, he said. The wall and the wheel and the wall. And I'm thinking...
That's right.
or death penalty, isn't it? And he wants to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the scary thing is a lot of people go along with that. I've seen a lot of people want him to carry out all the crazy stuff that he says.
Do you think what it is it's a bit like, say if you actually went to watch him, you'd think, God, he's talking a load of rubbish. But when you get the news, they only take a one-liner out. So people think, when he's going, God save America and all that, people, oh look, he's into America. But he isn't. If you actually listen to what he's talking about, he wants hanging, he wants beheading, he wants it televised.
Yeah.
Isn't it bad enough that we've got all those corrupt police? He just wants to give them more power.
Is he reincarnated Henry VIII or something?
And also, even though it might not be anything, and because he talks a load of rubbish all the time, a couple of people said to me, why does he say we won't have to vote in 4 years? I mean, if you listen to the video, it's what it is because it's a clip. It's him saying, things are going to be so good with me, you won't have to vote in 4 years' time anymore because I'll have sorted everything. But he mentions it twice, and it made people go, oh my God, what does he mean we won't have to vote in 4 years' time?
Yeah, that's very strange.
Yeah.
And then often when they put those things in, they're telling you. So I think what it is if you listen to his speeches, if he gets it, say, well, whoever they are, but when they become the fake, and they get put in because they're not voted for, or unless they put Kamalia in, he's already told you what he's going to do. You just didn't listen.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, but he's changed a lot. I mean, he used to be a nationalist, and now he's not.
Isn't that great? They just change it. Like, scrub that out. He's not a nationalist anymore. He's a what? He's a
globalist.
Oh right, yeah. That's all about money, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it really is. It's a whole. He's like different than what he was in his first term. Yeah.
When we first started talking with the Watts case, Amy, you quite liked Trump then, didn't you?
I did like him. I voted for him. Yeah, we liked him.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the whole political thing. I've never been in politics.
Well done, Mandy. Well done.
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not even registered as a Democrat or a Republican. I'm just registered unaffiliated because, like, none of the parties truly, like, really espouse everything that I
Well, you
believe.
don't really have a choice, do you? And they're selected, not elected, so you don't have a choice anyway. You don't have a choice with, like, he's good and she isn't, or whatever it is. You don't get a choice there. They're both crazy, because Kamalia won't stop laughing. That's what they call it. In one video, she was the laughing goddess.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and then she says strange things.
She does.
She said this one on the video, it's like, well, when we did this and when you look back at that, and she just didn't make sense. In fact, she didn't really say anything, and you're like, the Australian news used it. It was it's so funny, because it was a few years ago it happened. But anyway, and she looks like Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? Al Pacino looks like Alice Cooper. Oh, God.
I know.
Help! I'm drowning! I'm drowning!
I know.
Anything else you want to... You had some fun. Amy can... Well, you don't have to if you don't want to, but that bit about the cats, you got upset about that, didn't you?
Oh, yes. We're still upset about that.
Oh, yeah, our next door neighbors. We might be moving too, Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Monique, we may be moving. Yes, because well, our niece on her street, which isn't far away from where we live.
You have to live next to him.
But
Mandy,
yeah,
you have to live next to him.
It's 2 doors down from my daughter's
where
house.
Erica is. Yes.
There's a
She's
nice
down the
house.
street from us.
Yeah. And the lady is selling her house, and my daughter really wants us to get it. So the lady's willing. We're going to look at it on Saturday, and she's willing to give us first dibs on it if we're interested. But you said your mom has a lot. Well, we have a lot too.
We do. We do.
Get this house packed up, it'll be a miracle.
I know.
Anything is possible, because we've got stuff from my mother and father, my grandparents.
Yeah.
Generations. We've been in the house for this is my childhood home.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you want to move out of your dad's house, really.
I know. I don't. It's not the house. It's just the situation now is too tense.
Yeah,
and too uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
Just to explain, what it is that Amy, I suppose do you do it as well, Mandy? But Amy feeds stray cats.
Yes, we both do it. Yes, we were both feeding the stray cats that come around.
Which is just a few cats which come and get food off their porch. Yeah. They don't go into your house, and then the neighbours got really funny about it and sent a horrible letter.
Yeah. We've been feeding them for 2 years or something, so and they're used to it.
What it probably is some of those cats have pooed in his garden. That's what it is. But they wrote you a horrible letter and said that they wanted to have all the cats put down or taken away or something. And that. Amy's like, I'm coming out with my sword.
Yes.
Yeah, because they were right out as soon as we got the letter, the cats were on the porch and they were looking for their dinner. And I said, I'm feeding my cats. And I just went ballistic. And I went out there and I started just screaming. And it was Mandy was scared. I was so upset because I thought, how do you just not feed these poor little cats? And one of them had kittens now, so there's 3 pretty cute little kittens.
I know, but if you move, you won't be able to feed them at all.
I know. Well, Erica said that I was worried about that, and Erica said that she was going to try to find some kind of maybe a farm that they could be moved to or something. Well, if we do move, we won't have to be out for about a year because the woman has to be out of her house in a month or 2 because she's bought someplace. But if we buy the place, then we still have to put our house on the market, but we have to do a lot of work to this house before it would be ready to be put on the market. Or we'll We could possibly sell it as is, but we would get less money. So Eric is going to try to figure all that out. But in the meantime, so the cats have another year where we can still be like actually living here and be able to. They kind of come and go. Sometimes you'll see them, and then like there have been ones that they just vanished. Like we saw them, and then they stopped coming, and then their kittens come.
One of Mickey's cats is like that though. Cam, he comes back. Sometimes he throws himself on the floor down there and he sleeps for a while. Sometimes he sleeps on my bed, but more than likely he comes in, he eats, 10 minutes sleep, and then he's back out again chasing the girls.
Yeah, I'm looking at my porch right now, and there's a little mother cat. She's black and white, and her little black and white kitten is eating some dry food.
But you know what? They're funny cats things. Being here, Mickey's cats are so different. Like, Minnie doesn't like, Missy and Minnie don't seem to like Cam that much, the boy cat. They hiss at him like, get away from me. But in Mickey's house, Minnie used to look through the window, see Cam and go, and then she was sort of a bit feral. She just to sort of live in the garden. Here, she's very affectionate, as long as she's in control, and she's an excellent dog. She lies in the garden. She doesn't really leave the house. I'm not saying with humans, but in her world, she would protect any animal from getting in our house. She's a dog. She's like a really good dog. And then she climbs out the window here where I am, and she sits on the roof, and she does it at the back. She's watching. But Missy's in and out. She's a bit like, I'm here. Don't touch me. Feed me. Bye. You pick them up and they go, meow. Like, no. You think, I want to hold you. They're not very cuddly like that. That doesn't mean they don't come and sit on you or come and sit next to you. But the moment you pick them up, that's it, get off.
Yeah, that's how our cats are. Or at least two of them are like that.
George isn't like that, is he, Monique?
No, George. No, one's have to get George out sometime. He's upstairs at the moment. But what I do have is a house rabbit called Toaster.
He's the rabbit.
Yeah, house bunny. Yeah, Toaster. And so he kind of sits next to me in the kitchen, and he runs around the house. And I go out the back door. He comes in the garden for a little bit. It's the back garden.
Do you know what? He is a rabbit, but he's more like a human now.
I'll send you a picture of him. He's got.
I'm not going out there. It's too cold.
He's got a lovely black silky fur. He's absolutely gorgeous. He looks a bit more like a hare, actually.
Where does he sleep at night then?
Well, I'm actually, funny enough, under the kitchen table, I've got a little cat basket, and he sleeps in there.
That's so cute.
Well, you've got one, I've got 4, and in Amy's house and Mandy's house, there's loads of them. Because Mandy hasn't just got rats, she's got ferrets, haven't you?
Yes, I have 2 ferrets.
Wow.
We got them in 2016, I think.
Oh,
so
God, they've lived quite a long time then.
Yeah,
they're about 8 years old.
Yeah, and ferrets don't usually live past 10. They're starting to kind of wind down. I don't think there's any. The one's hair is like bald and like body. Still has it around her head. And then the other one, she has been having some itching, but other than that, her fur looks okay. I didn't see any fleas on her or anything, so I don't know why she was itching. I thought maybe I had changed their food. I thought maybe she got a little allergy to the food, so I stopped. I put her back on her regular food. So we'll see.
Is there any more? I can't remember now. Mice. You've got mice.
I have mice.
Yes, she has lots of mice.
I have Yes, they live in cages, and so do the rats. And the ferrets mostly stay in the cage, but they do come out and run around because they need exercise. But my birds have wheels in their cage that they can run in for exercise. The mice were another accidental reproduction. I had bought two, and I thought they were both girls. That was what the place told me, but obviously they weren't, because about 6 months, it took a while before they reproduced, but then one day we saw babies in the cage. So
Mandy, weren't you ever frightened? Like, oh my God, I've got so many animals.
Yeah, I do. Like, I'll worry about, like, I'll have nightmares, like, the house is on fire, and I'm like, oh my God, we have to get all the animals out. We've got to get the cats and their carriers, and we have to try to get all the mice out. Like, I had one of those just the other night, and I was screaming, like, fire was pot, and then we think we got out the fire. Like, I dreamt my whole neighborhood was on fire, and then like, another spot would show up, and I'd be taking baking soda, but that was, like, my main concern was, I've got to get my animals out. Just let them run loose, and yeah, so it is a worry. You love them, but it's a worry.
Yeah.
Always an additional worry.
And Monique has the Glade Trust to look after. Monique makes clothes.
I know, that's awesome.
Great.
She's a
That's very
sewing
talented.
lady, aren't you,
So
Monique? And
talented.
sometimes Monique does classes with women, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do also patchwork.
And what about that big one you did with the WI? That was loads of women at that one.
Oh God, it was 40 nearly. Yeah, just about 40. Oh God, that was a big class. I had to have a mic.
Oh, wow.
Hello, ladies. Can you hear me? See, Monique always comes across like maybe you're lacking in confidence, but when you actually think about it, Monique, you don't give yourself enough credit for things. I don't know if I'd like to stand. Hello, ladies, can you hear me? Right, now get your piece of material out. I don't think I could do that.
I know. I don't think I could.
She'd be going, why aren't you paying attention? Listen to me.
Well, yeah, I didn't realise I was going to have a mic, and I didn't really realise that I was going to have so many ladies, but I think once I get into teacher mode and it's a subject that I kind of am passionate about, then I find it, I just
see, you don't give yourself enough credit, you don't.
Oh, yeah. Very humble.
Yeah.
Monique can do anything.
Yes.
That's great.
Sometimes I just have too many sort of things that I would like to do, and I just kind of think I don't really know what to teach, because I've got a few subjects I'd like to do, so it's sometimes quite difficult. I've got to really concentrate on one line of things, really. But I do tend to be a bit of a scatterbrain and go on to many different things. But I think variety is good to have, though, isn't it? So you don't get too kind of bored with one subject, but they're all interlinked, I would think. They're all kind of related.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and the Glade Trust. It's not just that she's got all this stuff with sewing and making things. She's got the Glade Trust, which is all about nature and growing vegetables. And yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I just picked back up tomatoes today. I was really excited about that. And some green beans, yeah. So, but we've got a big collection of herbs, and I'm hoping that that was something I used to do when I was married. My husband was actually a nurseryman, so he grew all varieties of trees, and that's why I got into herbs. Then I really loved herbs, so I kind of like the medicinal and used to cooking and all sorts of things. I like to.
Oh, that's great.
Teach people.
Monique, you're a woman of many wonders.
She is.
Yes.
I guess it's just things I've just done over the years. It's just what you pick up, what you're interested in, isn't it? So I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't say I had a favourite, but I guess as time goes by, one of them will have to go, I guess. I always thought, well, on the machine it's quite hard. Would I be able to actually sit there doing that for the rest of my life? I don't know, so I sort of went down different areas and thought, right, that would be a bit easier when I'm a bit older. I'd have different things I could teach, but
You'll be making quilts.
yeah, I love the outdoors. Maybe so outdoors.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Can I just say that we've been going now for 2 hours?
Oh,
yeah. 2 hours.
2 hours of us chatting away.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good time to kind of stop now?
Yeah.
I'll have to, because I have to get up, and obviously I'm going off to see Mum tomorrow, so I'll be up early actually.
I really hope that something works good, whatever it is, however it comes for your mum.
So do I. Yeah, me too. Because I miss her dreadfully, because she's the one who I do crafting with as well. She's a knitter and crochets and loves to be active and things like that, and it just hurts me so much that she's just sitting there.
Can you do it this way, Monique? Mum, can you knit me 12 dozen coasters? I'll come back for them next week. Oh, my phone's going! And then my phone ran out of battery, I'm afraid. It was on about 12% and it just went donking off. But we were thinking of finishing. So what I did was I went over to Facebook, and the last couple of moments is the girls saying goodbye. I can't do narration, so I can't be on there and talk. You can see me, but you just hear the girls. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully there were some maybe interesting bits there people heard. And thank you very much to Mandy, Amy and Monique.
Oh, so we're gonna wrap up the hangout now. So it was really lovely talking to everybody, and we had a great time, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, we'd love to. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Amy. It was wonderful chatting to everyone. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Must do
Just
it again. Great.
hope
Thank
everything
you.
works out.
I'm going to be going now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
She's,
Oh, yes, I just had a really
yeah, we just
goodbye.
say
Yes. Well, goodbye to everybody. I had a really good time. It was nice to get to talk to Monique for the first time, and I'm just wishing the best for everybody with their moms, and yes, it was so nice to have a nice ladies' night, and I hope we can do it again. Look forward to it.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you.